It appears the most lucrative business and job offer to get these days is being a delegate. Some delegates recently, when on appointment of their position and their responsibilities, we heard they were being greeted. Congratulations, congratulations, my delegate. It looks like it's a jackpot to be a delegate these days. Who knows? I might as well be a delegate one of these days, God willing. Anyways, being a delegate is not enough, but the independence of such delegates to make decisions that affect people of his entire clan, his entire community, such that it can reflect the interest of Nigerians is what we get to discuss on this show. And we see that played out in the main opposition party, that's the People's Democratic Party, 2 weeks ago. And of course, most recent times, we understand that the ruling party as well held their presidential convention, special convention they called it, and we saw how that played out. We saw how delegates danced to the tune of the winner of the APC presidential primary, talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They call him BAT. I don't know what that means. However, on the show today, we get to discuss matters around the emergence of Tinubu as the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, vis-a-vis how other dramas that played out during the course of that presidential primaries. Not to forget that after that primaries, he has started consultations and reconciliations for his second in command, that is running mate. We don't know who or where that person will be from. Same as Atiku, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, also he is in earnest search with his torchlight, looking for an appropriate running mate, considering the fact that he's from the northern part of the country. Now, there are different dynamics as to how to pick and where to pick from, and the whole complications around it is what makes Nigeria a beautiful place, full of drama at all times. We're going to see how this plays out on the show today. This is Editors Forum, your favorite TV political platform where we discuss matters that concerns you, concerns us, all Nigerians. My name is Tife Tanimomo, and we are just getting started. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're back in a moment. This is Nigeria, a place of drama, and this continues to play out at all times, and we are seeing our country as that peculiar, such as that, and we embrace it because it is our home and there is nowhere to run to. My name is Tife Tanimomo. This is Editors Forum. We're just getting started. Many thanks to our viewers joining in from Nigeria across the globe to the platform Editors Forum, where we discuss matters of political national interest. We understand that in recent times, some of the matters that has been in the airwaves that have taken over our situation and overshadowed every occurrence in Nigeria is the 2023 general elections. And to that effect, we understand that we are going to discuss that largely on the program today. And of course, in recent times, about 6 or 7 days to this time ago, we understand that a very terrible occurrence happened, struck again, but now in the southwestern part of the country, particularly in Ondo State. That incident happened on Sunday after church or during church program, and it appears that different reactions have trailed that particular occurrence, and we've seen different sides to the story. We are going to discuss all this and how we can bring intellectual information and, of course, solution to the bear on the show today. Usually when I come on the show, I don't come all by myself. I am blessed and I'm opportunity to have seasoned guests and speakers to also bring their intellectual prowess and experience to the table. And of course, we are joined, today is not an exception, we're joined by in-house, regular TV, regular Editors Forum, regular here, our foremost Dr. Dayo Kayode, political technocrat. Many thanks for joining us today. We are glad to have you.
Yes. Good afternoon, Tani Momo. Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, Lagosians, Nigerians. Let me quickly express my heartfelt condolences to the people of Owo in Ondo State. It's such a very, very dastard act that nobody was expecting.
Very well.
But I strongly hope that we're going to learn, because before now we have not been learning from incidences. Rather, we just leave it and then we move on. We're going to learn from it and ensure that The constitution that the president has sworn to uphold, he will continue to do that because either we like it or not, the buck stops at his table.
Very well. Very good entry note. And of course, he is not the only one on the table to discuss matters. The edge of the table is another foremost speaker, public affairs analyst and media practitioner, Segun Aria. Many thanks for coming on the show as well today.
Thank you very much.
We're glad to have you.
Glad to have you.
All right, this is your native. Looks like you're vying for a political position.
No, he was a delegate.
Oh, you're a delegate. Delegate Segun, many thanks for coming. Congratulations.
I am not a delegate.
Really? But you look like somebody who has gone on a delegate job in Abuja because...
I am just seeing it in another direction. Maybe we should all see it in this perception that this I am putting on is just a symbol of an African man.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. We'll take it at that. Okay. Although we are suspecting you, but we'll take it at that.
Well, probably he has somebody who had gone to
We know. We understand. All right, gentlemen, let's kickstart from party politics vis-a-vis the 2023 election that has been in the TV, radio, everywhere. It's everywhere these days, and it looks like the country is on autopilot. Everything is practically stopped just to focus on this 2023 election, and it's counts down a few months to this time. We understand that everything will be sorted out, and then we know where we're heading at. However, just a quick recap. We understand that the APC presidential primaries took place from 6th of June to 8th of June. That's from Monday to Wednesday. And then we saw how the whole scenario played. We saw how people campaigned, saw the manifestos, saw the speech that people gave, and it appeared that the speech and all were not enough for some candidates. However, we saw the major, the ruling party. We saw, particularly that night, a lot of stepping down happened. On Twitter, some said it is a stepping down primary convention and all, that it was a stepping down party and all. I mean, a lot of stepping downs and all, and a lot of stepping up too. And we saw that played out in favor of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Lagos, former Lagos State Governor. However, we understand that before that scenario, the Progressive Governors Forum, Northern Governors Forum came together and agreed that presidency should be zoned to the southern part of the country. And of course, Yahaya Bello, being from Kogi State and part of the north, did not agree to that. We saw that drama played out at the presidential primaries as well. Regardless, we saw that eventually came to the south at the party. Now, what will be a reaction despite the heavy campaign, despite the heavy heightened polity during the course of this week? We know people were on the lookout to see where the results will be. Segun, what would be your take to the whole drama?
Thank you, Tife. Yes, my view regarding the whole drama, like I said, is the fact that definitely things of this nature, intrigues of different sort, would definitely play out. Then horse sweeping, people supporting who and who, but then what I think is of importance is what Asiwaju said before the convention in very instructive in Abeokuta. People take those words for granted, but it is political strategy. It's part of his strategy to arouse empathy, to hear from people from his outburst. If you recall, Asiwaju has never made a categorical statement of such. Before when we know he has been empowering a lot of them, we know the role he played, but that debate stirred up till the day of convention. People with conscience would just look at him, through that aspect. People with another eagle eye who feels that there's an opportunity in Asiwaju if he decided not to a soft pedal for him. They decided to key in somebody like Kayode Fayemi, whose state is more of a civil service state, he knows that from time. To me, I know he was just trying to play this kind of game and is, coming to land on this supporting Asiwaju. It does not come as a surprise to him, because naturally he knew that there's no way he could win that election.
Okay, so you saw that coming?
I saw that coming. Definitely, I saw that coming. From the day Tambuwal, stepped aside for Waziri Adamawa Atiku, I knew a thing of such would still play itself. Now, Fayemi came a step down for his leader. We have the only female of that in that convention, Ujuneye. She did. The youngest candidate, Nicholas, a step down for Asiwaju. Then we have Pastor Tunde Bakare, who decided that he was not going to step down, but rather he will step up. So we have Amusu, Senator Ebikola Amusu, stepped down. Now, you recall that the governor of Ogun State, when Asiwaju came on that, my earlier submission regarding what he put in the media for to arouse debate of different kinds, so that he can know where the pendulum will probably swing. Abiodun was not supporting Asiwaju at that instance initially. He was supporting the vice president.
He didn't make it open.
He didn't make it open, but we know where the pendulum was swinging to at that time. So, but when one of the reasons Asiwaju dropped that bombshell was to arouse sympathy there. He knew that definitely Ogun Delegate they were going for the vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. But from that debate onward, if you follow Twitter very well, you will see people hitting at the governor to ask him to talk about one of the submission Asiwaju made. That alone stirred the debate that he used the word Eleyi. Eleyi. So depending on how any Nigerian sees it, but I knew what he did was a political strategy to stir up a debate, to arouse people's conscience, to get sympathy, and at the end of the day, we can see part of what happened in this thing in the convention, where Amosu, who is not in the same line with the present governor, aligned with Asiwaju. Now, if you look at the game, initially, the Ogun State governor and Asiwaju had he played a role on his emergence against Amosu. Amosu's candidate did not become was eventually not become did not win the governorship race. So, but eventually, the former governor knew all these calculations, and he doesn't want to lose out eventually. That was why he decided to retrieve back his step and decide to camp with Asiwaju.
All right, Dr. Dayo, coming to you, do you think the bit of stepping down we saw gave birth to that unity we are clamoring for in the southern parts that eventually made Tinubu emerged?
Let me first of all congratulate Asiwaju on the achievement of getting the ticket of the party. But having said that, before talking about the stepping down, I also like to come up with some thinking from the speech of Asiwaju in Ogun State. I see it as nothing other than bravado. Statements coming up from someone who is saying that, look, a lot of people that are supposed to be dependable aren't at all. So now decide to use the last minute strength, big strength, to railroad them by saying, look, take it to anywhere. it is my turn. It is Yoruba's turn. And when it is Yoruba's turn, I am Yoruba. No. No. Then even calling a sitting governor a lay is a depiction of what his wife did earlier. Remember, when we were having this constitutional committee moving around and in Lagos, and the wife was now calling a co-woman a thug. That is to tell you what we are going to see eventually when the two of them now gets to that Aso Rock. Okay. Listen. Okay. Listen, please. Okay. I don't it is analysis you are asking me.
Yes, I don't want us to dwell on that speech. I don't want us to dwell on that speech.
Okay, going away from that. Going away from that speech. Going away from that speech. I will even want to give the victory he got on that day to another heroine in the person of Aisha Buhari.
How?
Yeah. You see, Aisha Buhari, all along, initially, he fought her husband. That how can you allow some people to remove to the background those that actually worked for your success? And you could then see that everything as regards Asiwaju was not being taken in that government then. Even some of them that were there were having issues. And people were looking at it, but yes, it is an attack on Asiwaju. And when the time came for that second term election, it was now being called upon. All right? It was being assuaded. Then giving that title, national leader. I remember that time some of us started arguing, where is that title, national leader, in the constitution of Nigeria or in the constitution of the APC? All right? That was the handiwork of that same woman. When this convention was coming on, she was finally in Dubai now. We are all privy to when state governors' wives went to celebrate her birthday in Dubai and all that. You can see her beside her husband. I will say probably one of the very few instances we'll be seeing her sitting down comfortably beside her husband. But this time around, this guy that worked assiduously for you must be. So that sent a lot of signal.
Okay, so in your opinion,
a lot of signal.
You would give accolades to Aisha Buhari, the wife of the
great accolades, great accolades. Now, as regards stepping down, you're going to see that even there are a lot of, because I listen to virtually all of them till about 2:15 midnight. You know, some of them even coming to that podium, you know that peradventure, they have been sponsored by one or two people to just buy the tickets. So I will buy you the ticket, you will go there, and then when you come back, you do this, you do that. The only person that I can say, okay, has gotten the stature, the energy to buy the phone is the Tunde Bakri. But somehow, there is somebody that did not even travel to any place to go and discuss with the delegates. Rather, I said he was phoning them and then sending text messages. Does that show seriousness? No, it doesn't. All right? But when you look at most of them that step down, you know that a lot of them were being state managed to come to that place for all that.
Okay, so for you, that wasn't a level of unity. It was a level of planned work behind the scenes. All right. I don't know. Do you also agree with him? Because I see a Godswill Akpabio from another part of the south, not the southwest, I think southeast now, stepping down for Tidumbu, considering the fact that the southeastern part of the country have in recent times clamored for a leadership role in the country and, you know, more prominent role.
Yes,
you know, so
I understand. Anyway, I see all as strategy, political strategy, and part of what politics is all about is what you have seen there. Strategizing, putting one or two together, achieving a particular aim. You know, Gospel Akpabio is actually not from East, is from Akwa Ibom, former governor of Akwa Ibom State. So, Onu made a very telling statement there.
Yeah, very
you know, Ogbonna Onu, I give it to Ogbonna Onu in terms of, you know, how he decided to speak his mind. You know, that Nigeria needs to do justice to zoning, to which I had in discussion here, you know, the last time I was here, that my stand remain that we should have zoning in this country, okay? You know, he gave a narrative of how he had religiously been following President Muhammadu Buhari from APP. And as an Igbo man, he has never, you know, refused following him, including Professor Chuba Okadigbo. You know, and I felt touched, sincerely. If I'm in the position to give the ticket to someone, I think I would give it to Ogbonna Onu to become Nigerian president.
Okay. On that basis? On
unity basis. Unity, equity, and fairness in this country.
That is exactly where I am going.
Unity, equity, and fairness in this country. We must think of how leadership must be decentralized to every part of the country. And I am still standing on my decision that zoning law, zoning act remains a very key development that would ensure sustainable development of Nigeria.